Want to make sure we jump on screen, communication interference line, position, location, galaxy, and line conditions. You have to truly stand every single day I come up in position line centers, understand space line conditions, time interference, time code line centers, box line channels, telepathy wave channel, telepathy interline conditional levels. It's all about understanding how to use different variation of tactile line system. Now trying to understand how it resonates in pattern line rotation and calculations. So truly understand the avatar represents all levels of the now, which is very hard to understand because the mind has to be center of all operation. And the only way to do that is through memory, retention, communication, inference, location, collaboration line system. So I'm going to give you guys 5-10 minutes. We'll get started. So today is the aspects of knowing what's going on every single day. The channel line center to the avatar position location travels so many levels of being and acceleration of Mach's system, rotation, interference, and clocking. So you truly have to understand how to travel through positions. And the only way to do that is through memory. Memory is the importance because that's what this is all about. You don't go to school, you don't remember who you are. That's what this is all about. They're buying and everything, the GFLs and the crews and unit 1s and 2s are high rising faster and faster. They're understanding what is going on with me. Whoa, this is powerful stuff. The power of you is the recognition of time, of space. The faster you go through triangle line center, there's no 7 days, only the now, which is the 6 locations, all levels of compilation line system and calculation modification line conditions. All right. Speed line centers, any line position key, all levels. It calculates and modifies it. Computes line rotations, all levels, computer rotation, interference, location of code system, code weaving, code channeling, code clocking. So today, what's going to happen, it's important to understand these things because you got to look at the aspects of the avatar and how it travels and where it's traveling to. You know, it comes into all levels of the Colosseum communications, the Colossus line channel will come into all levels of the galaxy connection. It's a cluster line interference, a position of quantum position line center location of physics 101, communication line centers, gravity interference, gravity rotate line system. So it's complicated if you don't understand the avatar of space. Now that communicates in all levels of compute locations. Computer line center rotation is all levels of interface. So in that position locations, we're going to use the tablets. It's all position line, line rotation. Now it's in calculation modification to its own clocking system, but we're going to put the tablets in a correlation line conditions, anagram interference. So it's reshifting name position locations, calculate line system, right? It's kind of like having dyslexia. Connection line rotation interference locations, backtrack interference location numbers, calculation modification line conditions. Let's say we go to STOP, right, in position locations. That's in the right line center, but that's a 3-dimensional bubble in communication rotation. High channels its rotation line center. Open double track line center to new division line center to 5D line rotation in position location calculations. So it comes into S in position locations, into O into position locations, into T, and then into P. SOTP, right? Now, you have to understand this is right and this is wrong. Why? Because you're no longer in a 3D line center. So it doesn't exist in position location anagram line rotation. So we do the reverse line position. This changes all over the quantum field and position locations, quantum entangle line center. So SOTP, systems, operation, teleportations of perception. That's communication line conditions. Triangle interference, back and forth line centers, back and rotation line positions, back and communication and triangle line center comes into STOP, into 5th dimension. Hooah! Sets of signal locations and calculation line conditions. So that's what we're going to do today. It's all about changing anagram interference, anagram interface communication line system. Changing position location in the avatar system is streaming interference locations. 3-dimensional line center is no longer in position. We're in 5-dimensional lock in calculation line conditions. But the avatar has to be in sequence identification code. Each avatar wakes up at a certain time. Okay? It modifies locations all levels, right? But it's amazing how you're living all levels of STOP, right? So it doesn't mean what you think it means, right? Systematic location, teleportations of operation of perception. Now, changing position location from 3 to 5 to an hourglass system. See the hourglass line center? In position location is energy bubble, communication line system. Change the triangle line center rotation interference. So in calculation, you have a high wind sector line conditions of a new galaxy connections in position location to it's all levels of a new tetrahedron location of 5th dimensional line conditions. Ooh, wow. right? Opens up signal locations and inference, travel through records of time into 5-dimension. 5-dimensional line centers. Now, I did very powerful videos on that position locations on SPACETIMECREATOR. It shows you how to travel through security line positions, security measures, program location line conditions, right? How to travel through it. 12 signal line in rotation. In calculations, it strips and high line rotations, travels to the higher levels of security measures, communication cycles, rotation inference location calculations. Now, use that clocking line centers coming in 24 sequence location use calculations. And then it's all about security measures and protecting yourself more and more, right? So you can go through it again. You can use a plasma wall. This is a plasma wall protection location to its calculations. High streams, its high line rotation. Come into metrical line inference locations of all levels. What Michael said, position locations of nebula. Change rotation cycles line in rotation. Calculate line conditions. We open all line track line center and open up all position locations, high line conditions of rings and nebula. High rotation interference comes into the center position locations to a new diamond line center rotation into high position locations in its high system location. High rotation line center and position location opens all level position line conditions. Let's see the diamond core line center. There we go in position location calculation. Opens up high line rotations. Now this is where we interchange position line center rotations. All right. So we're going to start there and win sector line center, the galaxy interference location, change all level systems, 3-dimensional line linear, quarter line position location, quarter fields, change all levels of its entanglement into a whole new level of new galaxy system. Right? So how's everybody doing so far? All right. Great to see new people. Tina, how's it going? Cami, how's it going? Max, how's it going? Jeffrey, how's it going? Melinda, it's great to see new people. Next week, we'll get into all visitor locations, how to set up crop circles. Rebellion and the GFL can help you out. They're very informed with their visitor locations. You really have to understand the avatar, what it means inside. And when I mean all levels of inside of vibration, energy, and frequencies, and how to communicate through harmonic ride. So many rise line centers. Communication, grand rising communications. So if you're grand rising, are you thinking or knowing or doing? What are you doing when you say grand rising? What does that mean to you? Because it's all resides with you through vibration. What does unconditional mean to you? Because it all resides inside an inline center location in heart. How do I understand the position, location, and calculations? It's all through avatar of its mind system, people. You have to really get into your memory. And the only way to do that is to go to SPACETIMECREATOR. Okay? All capital, right? So, where are we in track system locations? Allison, how's it going? Amber, how's it going? Airbender, how's it going? Ellen, how's it going? Heather, how's it going? Express, how's it going? Jill, how's it going? Sammy, how's it going? Just going through the list. Got a busy, busy day. All right, Don, how's it going? All right, so it's great to see everybody. To understand how to use yourself through the grounds, we got in that position locations. People are still having confusion. When you come into my school for the very first time, you have to learn how to travel. Also have to know how to use the water inside you. Interesting. You drink water every single day, but you have no idea what you're doing when you're drinking water. Water is supplement of you. Water is supplement of you through travel. You have to use that position location calculations. I also want to get into string theory and how it uses all levels of the part of line center. Part of line center rotation interference. 5-track interference locations. This is the position locations of the thumb. This is the position locations of its pinky. You put these two together. You got the moon and you got the sun position, right? So think of electrical wire going from going back and forth. And these are weather and apparent. These are the appearance line and line position location calculations. These are the weather streams. These are the indicators. These are their geometry line, rotation, interference locations, finger point location, digital line system, right? Change position location calculation line conditions. How to use it through track system. That's what we're coming into, people. We started here, but now we're coming here. You got to get into full rotation. The avatar line center understands identification code system. Now it's all in line position location of 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0.01. That's the telepathy communication system. Every time you wake up in the morning, it's going to be alarm to the avatar system. Time to wake up, boom. Time to wake up, boom. Time to wake up, boom. Right? So what that's going to do is it going to change the one line center at the end position locations going into 2, into 3, into 4, into 5, into 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 DNA track interference has to open all line position location to 5 division line rotation. And the only way you can get into calculate the line center is changing the message of communication of its tablets. Messages on a string. Right? So really get into your voice grids. Like this is like rhythm, you know? It's like an orchestra. You know, it's all about how the galaxy shifts back and forth, how it circles and swirls. You know, it's confusing when you do this, right? So what are you looking at? Are you looking at this or are you looking at me? So it's all about seeing your hand formation, right? But don't look at the hand, look at me. You're going to see more than 4 fingers. You're going to see 8, right? It's very powerful going beyond direction of time. Don't see the hand, see what's behind the hand. Communication locations. So try to understand the inner line center location is all levels of view through the galaxy shift communication line system. So in position of process line connections, we're going to go high-rise line center of Egypt in position. We're going to change the galaxy shift line center, which is going to change the ground shift rotations, which is going to change the pyramid active rotation system. Now it's in its placements, okay, to its compartment line system, which is great. So we're going to change the tablets in position location calculations back in track center. What that's going to do is going to center off the sun rotation and interference, bring out the sun, first line signal for triangle line rotation and position locations. The first birthing line connection to all levels of 3, 6, 9 pattern goes back in division location of Egypt. The structural line center set up the hologram location to its position, right? We're going to reverse line rotations of the Niles River. We're going to set up a whole new structural line in rotation, set up a new gravity lock line rotation, set up a new gravitational pull system, gravitational line connections to a level of a galaxy to its quantum physics, quantum line channels to quantum entanglements, and calculation modification to its cycle, rotation to its system. All right, but you really have to learn how the avatar has to travel through 3, 6, and 9. It's the geometry operation of direction divisions of time and space of view, because that's all we live on is time. Every day you get up in the morning, you're living time. That's it. You have 24 hours to do something with space and time. So when you create, you're creating something inside, which is wonderful, which is beautiful. You're creating the space that holds you through teleportation, guys. All right. So it's like all levels of space. Space is very powerful. So if you bring your jaw forward, you can hear space. It opens up ear, opens up sonar for the right track line center of Earth. Right? In space. So you have to understand the communication of both, because if you don't, it's going to be off signal when you're traveling through the avatar system. So you're in this position, got too much on one side, right? So you hit something. So it's a rock formation line interference location to all of us, a meteor. You see meteors coming by, right? Passing by and all that, right? So it's all about directing and redirecting, knowing exactly what you're doing through navigation locations. And when you're in space, you're actually seeing these things. It's incredible because the avatar is getting a better connection. It's navigating and seeing this and seeing that, and you're keeping your eyes open. It's better to keep your eyes open. You close your eyes at the beginning, but eventually you want to reach higher levels and keep your eyes open because you want to be aware of everything that you see, right? That's the practical system you have to understand through the avatar system, but it's all done through the mind, people. Everything's done through the mind, how you create these things. Get into your imagination. Get in that core line center rotation interference. Imagine that you see a triangle. There's a triangle right here, but it's in a holographic structure, right? So you can spin it, you can turn it, you can change it this way, put it that way. You can take it out, take that out, put that in, put a new color, change position, point center line, connection, set up new co-line rotation. You can do anything, but you actually see it because you created it. And when you see these things, it's amazing because you can just send it out and manifest it. But it's all through the mind, people. And the only way to do that is to understand higher light capacity. Time capacity line centers. Time zone is perfect for space discoveries. Right? Season 1, episode 4. I talk about everything through that connections. You have to learn how to travel through plasma because it's all position location when you drink water. So you're drinking water inside, which is levitating your positional location avatar system. So you get the physical line center. So when you're sleeping, what's happening? This is what happens. I don't know if you guys understand these things, but I'm going to show you. You're sleeping right now, right? So what happens when you close your eyes, your avatar out, it goes right away, right? And then when you get up, back in, all right? That's the avatar system. So that's communication when you come into these locations. But with me, I start from here, I come up here, and I stay in space. I don't go back in my body, right? So this is a true understanding. The more you go into the mind, the more you go into space, the compartments, the expansion, the bandwidth, the activation line stream. It's amazing when you get into levitation, people, right? It's amazing how you do these things. It's like floating like a butterfly, and imagine you're a butterfly, right? So you become the butterfly. So you're thinking light. Ooh, light as a feather, right? So it's like, whoa, the energy, and it just, if I want to get grounds with something and I feel off, I automatically get grounds with earth, and I use the energy, and it platens me down. And now I got balance. Say I'm going into a rock formation, I'm climbing rocks, making sure that my hands are in position location and know exactly, because you can communicate with each rock that you're climbing, because it's all intelligence, right? So you're more connected through nature from inside the heart system. It registers location, position, location, and calculations. But once you get in the headspace, you're confusing your system through the avatar of space and its position, location of nature, right? Because nature only understands you through vibration, people. Okay. And it's how you use it through your thoughts. Okay. So it's all logistics. It's all about understanding your A, B's, and C's and 1, 2s, and 3s. I understand that, but that's all I know. Well, this is a practical system that you have to start using more of the mind of telepathy, communication level position locations. And this is all done through 3, 6, and 9. Okay. So we all have to start from somewhere. I'm trying to help the new viewers that come on so they understand how to get into their imagination and perception. And every time you go to school, you remember more. Concentrate on you. Don't concentrate on anybody else, because it confuses the travel right away. Okay? Concentrate on yourself. All right. So make sure you have your water and just bring a smile. That's the most important thing. Crew units, how's it going? Johnny, how's it going? All right. So already their mind's already traveling. Look at that. Way ahead of schedule here. Okay. It's great to see everybody in position line conditions. All right. So let's do this. Now, as we go into frame, right? Now I'm going to change the frame, which is going to set signals in position, location, and codes, because that's how we're all calculated, modified, because that's all the avatar is. It's just codes, guys. Energies of lights, energies of vibration, energies of frequencies, and energy of harmonic resistance. You have to understand how to use description locations. You know how you have the Cyclopedia, the Wikipedia, the connection line interference. You can look at it and describes on what something is 5 different ways. Well, with AI, awareness of everything, information to its operation and perception is everything through space. And that's how we use divergent locations into all levels and take things out of the virus system to its computer operational line system. It's all allocated position, location, space, and time, right? So as we go in this position location, this is already set up. All right. So as soon as I add something new, what's happening? It's changing the frame, right? Changing the directions. It's changing the clocking. It's changing its intelligence, and it's changing its position, guys, of location. All right. So it's interesting when you get into that position locations. All right. So we're going to set line connections back into Egypt, because that's where we start line rotation. So as we go back into Egypt line rotation, it's going to set up signals. Okay, galaxy interference. Okay, you see the diamond core line center. Everybody's going to go through wipe screen and interference line position, tablet line center, rotation, interference, location, and calculations. All right. Now, trapezoid locations is the energy graph. The energy graph opens up all line positions. Now we go into the purple line center. Purple line center is all levels. It's a tetrahedron line condition code weaving. In position, location, calculations. All right. Line stream interference. Okay, so we're going to line sin all set up sonars back and backtrack line center. Setting out signal location line connections. All right. Now, if you look really closely, you can see the intelligence. You can see the intelligence, right? Everything that you draw is you through intelligence because it's you traveling. So don't get confused with anything through the line conditions, anything through sonar, or anything through waves, or anything communication, or anything through the sun, or anything through the moon. So it's all program location and calculation. Now, we're going into tablet interference. This is how we change the quantum line center location, the galaxy line interference location and calculation. All right, so I'm going to change the code line centers, cross signals, cross streams, and the line position, right? This is all levels of the tablet. Okay, and this bit gets confusing, right? And that's what space is. It's a mystery until you understand the mystery. It's like opening up a present. Whoa, cool. So it's always something you've been waiting for when you travel position, location, and calculation line conditions, right? Now, everything through the crew, units 1 and 2, I really want them to get information more of what they see through memory through the avatar system. The Rebellion and the GFL already know what they're doing, so I don't have to worry about them. So in position locations, because I understand the graph line center, it's all through tablets. So think of it as hieroglyphics. Line position location, line interference. Now I'm going to set the code line rotation. All right, so I'm going to set position line centers and line rotation really quick, very fast. Okay, so it's high line rotation, 0 numbers, line rotation, line conditions. Okay, and line rotation, line conditions. Okay, the codes are set up position line system. As the codes come into frequency interference, Egypt's going to change the Gaussian line rotation. This interchanges positions to the quantum fields, physics 101. Gravitational pull, reline, readjust, reline conditions, interline position, calculation line conditions, stream interline position. A lot of triangles, code signal locations, high rotations, and number of communication cycles. All right, and position location calculations. All right, there it is. That's the tablet. It's all set in sequence, it's all set in code, all set in rotation, all through codes, letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. Okay, so understanding the tablet and how to use it is all changing the rotations all over the galaxy. Okay, the quad entanglement is changing the entanglements of its position locations. So we're taking all entanglements out of the 3-dimensional line and putting it into the 5th dimension. All right, so as we take the high-rise line rotation, taking Egypt position location, it's got a whole new structure, a whole new hologram, whole new interface. It's all program location line connections. Now, as we come into position, it kind of looks like a chessboard if you think about it. So as we come into coloration line change, we go into pyramid high enforcement. All right. So these come in position locations. We did this through back forth line rotation. Now, if you look really close, you can see the pyramids, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see them? It's confusing, right? Because you don't know where they are. You don't know where they are. They're protected now, right? But they're there. In rotation line system, let's go back and calculation line stream. How we started all levels. So it's truly understanding all levels of you when you come into your avatar sequence. It's all position, location, and calculations. We start with this position, right? See the 4, right? Well, they're in position locations to the tablet. They're there, but they're hidden. You can't see them. That's confusing locations. This is how you change the quadrant line center location of galaxy and your line position locations of 3 dimension to 5 dimension. Rotation and interference location, right? So we're going to open up all level rotation, coloration change, coloration line interference. Okay, so we go into blue plasma lights, blue plasma force, blue plasma communication cycles, rotation and interference line connections, right? See the blue? Now you see a little bit more of the triangles. There's 4 line centers. Now in position locations, cross signal. See the cross signal? In position location calculations. Now we're going to put that in an hourglass line center. There it is. There's the hourglass. Everything is in time sequence code. All right. So we're going to change the coloration line streams in a higher level of coloration of time. See the clocking system? Can't see it, can you? But it's there. All right. So again, it's all about protecting space, projection locations, projecting line centers, the moon, and protecting the levels of the sun. That's in communication line system. When you look outside, it's not blue, it's black. But that's what you see through perception. That's your reality, that's your division, that's your location, that's where you're connected to. But when you see these things, it's how to change these things, right? all through frame. All right, so as we get in position locations, the rebellion and the GFL is already in signal, right? The cruise units 1 and 2 are already in triangle line interference. They're getting more position locations on all levels when they travel through the avatar system. All right, so we got the hourglass line center. Let's go into all of position locations. There we go. Rain to activation line reconnect. High position location, a stream. All right, see it now? All right, so as we come in together, now we come into the rainbow activation line stream rotations of the triangles. 4 position line centers, 5 within the system, people. This is how we come into a new galaxy system of all connection. All right? But it's confusing, right? Because you don't know which is which. You don't know where is where. It's like finding Waldo, but he's in different clothes, right? When you get used to something for so long and you keep changing that page, one day Waldo's going to have different clothes on and you won't be able to find him because you're always thinking of that old program. This is where we come into a new surface of a new program location of a new galaxy shift line center to a new position of 5-dimension of tablet line system, all through connections of Egypt. Code signal lining and rotation. Okay, so as it's set up, we're going to take the crews and units and everything in the GFL. They're going to try position location Egypt. The center line center is already set position locations. So you guys are going to come to Galaxy interface. Okay, code line center to Galaxy interference locations. Calculate modified island rotation interference. Rainbow activation line centers. You got 20 minutes in the hourglass rotation interference. All right, 20 minutes, have fun. Calculate, modify all levels rotations back in communication line system. What you're doing to allocate time switch is everything through the galaxy surface. It opens all levels of quantum fields and releases all timelines into a new division, into a new location of an avatar system. 20 minutes, have fun. All right. And this is how you do things, guys. All right, let's see where we are through traction interference. Balancing straight codes into the scrambler to new teammates. All right, watching you ladies, ready for code ladies, opening crown, opening pyramid. In my head, letting in the light. Excellent. Yeah, it's very powerful, Amber. Yeah. Rainbow codes coming in, plasma purification done, spins open, codes inbound, scramblers, spires and gold integrating. Yep. Yeah, it's powerful when you understand the connections. Scramblers working in the system, so cool. Yeah, so don't focus on what I'm saying, focus on me through vibration. And you guys have to really get more into telepathy to yourself and to each other. The rebellion and the GFL can help you afterwards. But right now, they're doing what they need to do. This is about how to reset everything back into a clocking system, into 5th dimension, all right? So it's incredible how we do these things. So once we get in that position locations, we can set up the crew line centers and everything, the units 1 and 2, until all of us have to set up the ground line centers across circles. Once we get into that calculations, you guys understand more how to use your teleportation lights, communication cycles, how to use laser direction line center to your pyramid activation system. Because remember, you are a vessel communication. You are the map. You are the equation. And everything is its answer. But it's all done from inside position. Okay? It registers high levels of more of you through the heart because that's how you get your answer. That's how you get anything through answer is all levels from inside. So really triangulate that. Try to get position location calculations. Anything you don't understand, I can help you out. But it's amazing how we get into formation. How to change things in this division. All right. So. All right. Grading variations, defrag, out team. Exactly. Astrologics, changing codes, weavings, code channeling, code clockings, buckle up, bouncing, rebooting. Okay. Interface vibration, harmonic resistance, orange cloths, ready, weaving, going communications, imagination, streamline centers. Okay. Communications, other codes, extra key, reopen tablets, same dots. He added the codes and the feather when it was given the feather. See, the thing is, the rebellion and the GFL has been going through the same process of everybody else, right? So the more you go into the mind, the more you understand the adaptation of its position. And it's all done through connections. It's not just you understanding space of time, it's understanding your memory. And once you remember everything that was going on, you understand everything through its position of code, right? The conduct of everything, actually, rotation is all levels of memory. The remembrance of you is the sole direction, right? It points this location to all levels of you through division. But it's important to really understand what is going on with you, right? To all levels of you through memory, right? Now, it doesn't look like much, but they're traveling, right? So it is confusing at first. So try not to see me as a voice channel, see me as vibration. The avatar is connected to you, and the connection is all levels of you. So it tracks the system locations, but you have to really understand how to travel through 369. Now, I want to come on every day with school and show you exactly how to travel through this. Right? So it's a refresher course. It's how to, oh, I understand the 369. So this is 3, this is 6, and this is 9. Okay? Very simple, very basic. Point system, point system, point system. That's it, right? Circle rotation. This is you in location right there. 3, 6, and 9. Right? So you take the 9 in the center. That's you. And then you line signal it through a triangle. This is a correlation to a triangulation. You're always triangulating to position. All right. So once you come into that positions, you can come into what we call the butterfly effect. All right, it gets complicated, but it's very fascinating when you understand what the butterfly effect is through its duality of its position. Looks like a bow tie, right? So it's true standing. So in division locations, you can take the 3 into high line right here, right? And you can take the 9, okay, into high line up here in position location. I just want to show you how powerful it is to use the platforms of 3, 6, and 9 and always informs the variation, right? And you can take the 6 and bring it down here. It doesn't matter because it's already in position location. This is already coordinated. I've already traveled through it. I don't have to worry about it because I'm not drawing. I've already traveled. So it's like getting in the car and imagining you're already in the location. It takes 20 minutes to get there times pi. In that position, what did you do within that space? That's what pi means. It's the interline connection of space in between. Okay? That's a quantum line center comes into its entanglement. Now we're getting out of old entanglement locations at 3 dimension, and we're coming into the 5th dimensions of its entanglements. Back in calculation, right? Starting with the anagram interference, rotation line position, right? So understanding the butterfly effect of 3, 6, 9, you could travel through anything in that position. So the 3's here, 9's here, and the 6 is here, right? So it's all about understanding how to triangulate it in position, location, and calculations. You got a box system line position right here. See it? It's all calculated. Now, you are where? Right here, right? You are here, but you're always in the center operation. Every single time you create a triangulation, you're always in the center. So it's all about line signaling everything, right? Now, this is all position location when it comes into string theory. String theory is all levels of particle system. It separates and comes back together. String theory is all levels of planets. So it's kind of like pearls on a necklace, right? Your line string. That's all this is. That's what string theory is. It's putting everything back in together, location to a new division line center, to a new operation, to a new timeline center, to a new dimensional line interference, rotation interference, location to calculation, right? And then you can travel through it, through its rotation system, right? You can even change the color. It's really powerful when you do these things. Let's go into all levels of blue, right? So you change position location. Now you come into higher levels of the matrix. Coloration line change, right? So I'm downshifting, but I'm going through 12 line centers. You stay with the 12 line center because it comes into all levels of position, location, and calculation. So I'm traveling down, but I'm still in the high position line system. So the track interference comes into the moon. This is the moon. The moon understands position locations. Let's put the bunny ears on top so you know it's the Wi-Fi, right? So the moon comes in position locations, right? So the 6 moves over in position because you are spinning through cross center. So this is Trinity standing. It's interesting too because it changes your antennas. Everywhere you go, it goes with you. It doesn't go against you. It goes with you. It's like a magnet to a magnet. So I'm here, the sun's here, moon's here, right? It's right? I go through, out. That's how it works. To understand how to travel through 369, all three antennas, through a butterfly effect, 12 division line centers, rotation interference. You stay within the 12 DNA. You have to understand how to travel through the 7 of you, which is the body track location of water. That's the body's waters of Earth, guys, of Mother Earth. And then you understand the 5 atmospheres of space. 7 within the body ear line center, 5 within the atmospheres of space. 12, 7, 5, 12. Got it? Triangle. Whoa, look at that. Cool. All right, so that's how you travel. You stay within the 12 line center. Once you go higher levels of the mind, now you're in the conceptual interference. Now, when you're activated, you're automatically into 100. You're way above standard when it comes into 12. But you waking up to all level rotation to its avatar system. 7 within the body, 5 within the atmosphere. You have to learn how to use your 3, 6, and 9 of geometry system of operation of direction. But it's amazing how you can travel through all levels of its position. Okay. So I just keep going on and on. I just keep adding the frames, and then I go back in the current line center in position, location, and calculations of the now system. But I'm just showing you how you get into triangulation, right? All division line centers to the moon. The moon has to understand what you're doing through travel. So if it's in low sequence interference, that's fine. So the moon moves over here, right? Moon's over here now, right? So, and the sun can go anywhere. It can sweep down into this position location, 3 here. Here's the moon and the sun position. 3's here, moon's here. All right. So you put that in together. You got a figure 8 line center, infinity circle line rotation in position, location, and calculations. So you're constantly spinning on cycles in position line system. There's infinity 8 cycle. Gets confusing now, isn't it? You see how I go from correlate line center, rotation, and interference line, kinetic acceleration line, position of codes? How I go from high position location from 24, 48, 72, 144, and Mach. The faster I go, the more I go in triangulation. Higher division locations of completion. That's where it comes into confusion. A little bit of stability of the back and track line interference, back and calculation. All right. Setting wind factors, all levels of 3, 6, 9. We'll get into that again. But I want to show you how powerful it is when you travel through it. All right, my chest plate is glowing. Yours is so purity. I've seen the pyramids glowing brighter and brighter. Okay, we're in almost 40-minute locations. Stream flowing, strong tablet connected is ready. Excellent, very good. Chill, understand your energy scriber. What's going on with the position? It was amazing, isn't it, though? Kind of a genius, but not for obvious reasons. Well, your reasons is my reasons, right? Your intelligence as much as everybody else. Now it's how to understand position line conditions, right? So being a genius has nothing to do with physical line center. It's all about understanding mind, adaptation, location, and memory. That's all it is. All right, because you already lived the system. And the understand the lived the system is knowing that you've already flew in that position, location, calculation, line conditions, right? It's all memory loss coming back to you through traction, all through the avatar system. So there you go. Eliminated objections, chocolate flywheel. Woohoo. Sides of the pyramid are now unfolding like a lotus flower. Excellent. So it's releasing line positions, quadrant line positions coming out of 3 dimension, coming into 5th dimension of its quadrant. All right. So it's coming into an old tablet to new tablet of a new galaxy shift to new quantum interference to new quantum entanglements. Why is it coming into entanglement? Well, it's leaving the 3-dimensional line center, positive, negative, and coming into the 5th dimension of positive, negative of its avatar system. Your stream centers have to understand more levels of high-level position location of coding. That's the only way you can understand triangulation locations of 369 platforms. How to position that is truly understand all levels of travel in that condition. Okay? So it's incredible how you put shapes, letters, numbers, and symbols all in one system, right? But you gotta understand the travels of your avatar system. And the only way to do that is all levels of formation, right? Your ground operating your system. Okay. So try to understand to use space as you as a division location of a map. Your whole body is a map of equation, right? And you can get any answer that you want in division, right? And as long as it's with the heart, you are good to go, right? You're becoming more successful every single day because you're finding more levels of you through memory. The more you remember, the more it correlates in position location to its connections of its triangulation. All through the sun, all through the moon, and all through fluctuation of flux capacitor in position locations. Now, I don't have to draw the flux capacitor. It's already up here. It's already stored, right? So your memories are coming into higher level position of consciousness. That's all it is. But you have to stay in your 12 DNA track line center first, right? Because that's 12 division locations of time as space. Space calculates and modifies. Now, if you go anything higher line position, now you guys in correlate location of 100 chakras. That's great. That's fantastic. But do you understand the travel? That's 100 position locations of vibration. Times 1 is 100,000 line connections of you in your expansion of your bandwidths that you can use through travel. Going to higher level systems, you go faster and faster and faster, right? So it starts here, right? And now you created the structure, all from inside out. And once you understand inside out, you go outside in, right? That's the balance between the left and the right, and the right and the left, right? You don't want to have too much information on one side and not know anything on the left side. You want to be equalized every single day when you wake up to your thought, position, location, and calculation, right? This correlates all levels of your code locations. It's what you're doing through the avatar system. It's important. It's all done through travel, people. All right, check teams, north referencing, please confirm. Excellent positions. River's ready. Pulsar. Okay, calculation line conditions. Because the records are part of the tablet, needs protection. Yeah, it's all protected. Don't worry, everything's done. So I'm just coordinate. So it's sure standing 5,000 channels, 5,000 information, 5,000 years of rotation line connections. It gets confusing once you go to higher level system, but you have to stay within the 12 DNA. And that's position locations for the avatar understand the connection line system. Having the 100 chakras is great, but understanding why you have them is the how. Okay, I did very powerful on TikTok, is to understand. If you understand the how, you understand the why. But if the why is confused, now you have a problem. It's the how that understands the why. So that is done through its equation. You have to look at results and not see the problem, because you become the problem, right? There's always the results, and it's through the avatar of travel through space, all levels of vibration. The higher you go, the more you understand. The more you balance position, location, line, system, location, line connections. All right. All right. Flying drone by the waterfall. Great footage of the team. Whoa. Seeing. You guys are seeing a lot more through track locations. All right. Keeping intro hidden. Okay. Let's see. I have access to the L. So cool. Shape shifts. Okay. Resonates this. Okay. Excellent. Fantastic. Great. So everybody's in all position location at code weaving, code activation, code activating streams, high rotation centers. All right. So I'm going to close the signal. Once I close the signal, everything is going to be adaptation system to a new program line center, which basically the avatar is in a new shift position. So when it gets in a awakening position line system, the galaxy will no longer be in a three-dimensional entanglement line system. This program location is back into calculations. This puts you in all levels of your identification system. All right. So calculation modifies all levels of your streams, data streams, information system, the doormat of you through all Sherman resonance. Truly understand the calculation modification to its cycle, rotation system location calculations. So in this position, all levels, it's all through travel, right? But understanding why it's so important to understand letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. It's all position of you through travel. Okay. So you have to understand what you're doing. And the only way to do that is understand the 3, 6, and 9 position. And everything through 9 is all levels of U through travel of 12 line system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? Basic understanding. Now, when you go to higher level system, you're protecting more levels of security fence. Okay? So you split that in the system. You come into space, you come into time. Right? But you can't channel off. You can't channel off. You have to be in a tube. Right? Space is going very fast. So what is the avatar doing? It's creating space. It travels through it. So let's go into black line of rotation. This is the avatar. Sees the tunnel, which it's created. There's the avatar, right? There's the tunnel. Right through. Done through equation, right? So it's created it to 3, 6, and 9. Right? Powerful when you do these things, guys. It's amazing when you see these new track locations. That's all it is. Travel through that, very easy. Now, if it wants a protected system, it protects its line stream, so nobody gets into its portal. Now, it's your understanding, once you go through, you have to close the portal. You can't leave it open because other entities are over here and they're coming in. If they go into your portal stream, you're in trouble. So it's your understanding, it's not just looking back, but it's also looking forward in position. Right? So it's important that you get rid of the portal. Wipe the screen line center, take it out of track locations. So anything through high level system at entity line center can't go into your jump scar. If it goes into your jump scar, you're in trouble, right? It just disappears. It can't get into something if it can't see it, right? So what does it do? It goes back in line signal, back in rotation, interline positions, goes back where it's supposed to go in position. Show you what an avatar does, right? So it swivels off and goes somewhere else. There it is, gone. Right? Ooh-ah. We'll get into that more, right? But it's incredible when you travel position locations, right? Take quarter line rotations, galaxy line rotation in Egypt. Put everybody back in calculation. Crew units 1 and 2. GFLs in rebellion. Take them out of track line centers. Back to communication where they are at their vision. Now you guys are back. So I just want to show you how powerful it is when you see these things to the position. Why it's so important when you are the avatar looking at what you created, you have to close the portal. Because if you don't, other entities will go in. If they go into your jump scars, you're in big trouble. Okay? So it's your understanding is that you're creating, closing, and creating again. That's space and time. All right? It's very important to understand these things, but it's all done through 3, 6, 9. Now it gets a little bit more complicated. Even the rebellion has to learn these things. They know exactly they have to close the portals. Because if you leave the portals open, you're opening your channels to other universe locations of other intelligence, beacon lights, other planets, other intelligent interference. So you got 16,000 planets open in position locations coming into your portal. That's 16,000 intelligence going into your portal. All because you didn't close it. So it gets more complicated, but it's a lot more fun. But position locations, tomorrow we will basically get into channel line center locations. Now the galaxy line center is interference line position. The quantum entanglements is now in the 5th dimension line center. Congratulations on that. It's on its positive lights, communication interference to its dark line position. It's now out of its anagram interference. It's back in probe locations, so a new division location avatar system. The avatar system is its rotation cycle. Now you come into identification codes. It sets a sig line in a rotation, calculation line conditions, right? So you got the 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? 0.01, right? So every time it wakes up in signal, the 1 equals 2, right? Time frequency 2, right? And then equals 3. So the code signal opens up position location of calculations. They wake up to a certain time clock system. Okay, so it changes position location of time, right? It's pretty interesting how they wake up through time frequency. So it's incredible how it's all connected to that unit location to all levels of its patterns and interference location of dormant system DNA structure line interference. the geometric patterns, the geotheorem, line rotation, inner line conditions, position locations. It's all data streams in rotation system. So in calculation line conditions, we will get into our levels, how to change three-dimensional line crop circles into fifth dimension. All right, but congratulations on today through Egypt Line Center. Any questions in the comments? I will be on TikTok. Adios.